This is the Apple Watch SE. This is one of two new Apple Watches that were announced this year. Now, the Apple Watch has been one of Apple's most expansive and new product categories that I think is really catching fire right now. And what I want to do is talk about this right here, the Apple Watch SE. Now, this is Apple's newest entry-level model. This line didn't exist before last year. So before I talk about the watch itself and unbox it, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the history of the Apple Watch, particularly talking about a couple of small details with some of the older ones. Now, if you are not interested in this, which I know a lot of people aren't, I always get complaints when I talk about boxes and stuff that just show me the product. What I'll do is I'll have a link or a timestamp right here on the screen and in the description as well down below. If you want to skip to the unboxing, it's right there. I don't want to hear your comments that I don't want to watch this, why are you wasting time on the box? This is it. If you want to check it out, I'll have it on screen and in the description. So with that being said, let's talk about it. So right here I have two Series 3 boxes and a Series 4 box. Now, why I have all these boxes, I want to talk about something Apple said in this event, and that was that they were no longer including a power adapter in their Apple Watch boxes. And they say this is to reduce waste. It reduces the size of boxes. It just makes things better. And people were very shocked with this. But what was weird to me was that this is not the first time they've done this. Really, this is not a new thing, because the Apple Watch Series 3 that I bought last year after the Series 4 came out, it didn't come with a power adapter. Whereas the Series 3 that I bought when it was new, it did come with it. And what you guys can see is right off the bat, even though these are two Series 3 boxes, look at the size difference of the boxes. So they were two very different boxes, and just the sizes they can tell. And really the only real thing that was missing out of the Series 4 box, the Series 3 box here, was the power adapter. With this, you had the more traditional Apple lift-up style box. You had this little space for it, with underneath being the charger and the power adapter, and then the watch sitting right this. So cool, but really not the biggest deal in the world, right? With the Apple Watch Series 3, when the Series 4 came out, they did a little bit of redesigning on the Series 3 to bring the price down. One of the things being that it was no longer going to come with a power adapter, which wasn't really a big deal. And the box was also changed, so it was a slide-out box now. And what you got this pamphlet here. You got the watch right down here, kind of similar to that. And then in here was the Apple Watch charger, which I'll show you right here. The charger and the band came right here. I pulled the charger out. It used to come right here, but that's where that sat. So really, it was a change that has been around for a while. It's not something that's absolutely new or unheard of. So really, I'm not sure what people were that upset about. So you may be asking, why am I spending so much time on these boxes? Well, it's because of how much of an evolution they've had, right? So the Series 3 was a lift-up style box. Series 3 was a pull-out style box. And then the Series 4, that was completely different with tabs. So you opened it up like this. It had tabs. And there were two separate boxes, one for the actual Apple Watch and one for the band. But now, all that has changed, right? Everything is quite a lot different here. And while the Apple Watch still does come with two different boxes and that similar pull-style tab here that the Series 4 has, it is considerably thinner now. So let me just show you the side, right? The side used to be this thick, whereas you compare it now, it's about exactly half the size. So a lot of changes with the boxes and the way things go. And, Apple might say it's e-waste, but I really think that it's definitely a more idea of that it saves costs. So let's just do it. So pull tab right here, very common Apple thing. Now let's pull it off. And the Apple Watch SE I got is the 40mm gold with the pink sport band. Now, honestly, this is the only one that was available. I was kind of on the fence between the silver one and this one, or the space gray one, in fact, too. So I was kind of just all over the place with this, but I ended up just going with what was in stock because everything else was out for at least a couple of weeks, and I didn't want to wait that long. And honestly, the gold is one of the only colors I haven't had in an Apple Watch yet, so I thought, you know what, let's do it. Not a big deal. And it'll give me a chance to compare the colors as well. Since I do have the silver Apple Watch in aluminum and the space gray as well. So I thought it would be overall just a nice addition to the kind of collection I've got going. So very similar pull style here. So let me just pull this up. Boom. And then similar to the Series 4, you've got these nice kind of Apple Watches with different colors, finishes, and bands to just give you an idea of what things are. It's really cool. I love this. You know, they keep changing it. Last year it was different with the Apple Watch here. You guys can see, you know, they keep changing things around, so it's not the same thing, just generically printed again and again. So that's really nice to see. And right here in the box, similar to the Series 4, you got two separate boxes. So you got one with a case, so they can kind of change out the case and keep the packaging the same. And then you got the watch itself right here. So let me put this off to the side. This is the pink sand Apple Watch band, which is cool, I guess. I don't know. And here's the Apple Watch itself, lifting off the box. Okay, so one of the key differences I'm noticing right off the bat is that the Series 4 and 5 came with a little pouch. This does not. This is just kind of a clear paper protector thing. You know, it used to be plastic, but I think they're moving to paper now. It looks pretty nice. You know, of course, you know, it's Apple, so quality is always going to be really high and really good. So that's that. Moving on, let's look at the paperwork here, and I'm sure that right under it we will find our power cable as well. So right there, power cable, and then you've just got basic instructions and no Apple stickers, but those haven't been a thing on Apple Watches ever, so not a big deal. All right, putting that to the side. Let's look at the watch itself. Let's pull it off. So all right, so the bottom, it's got a similar finish to most of the newer Apple Watches, which have this black finish. That is, I believe this is ceramic on the bottom now, just so that the sensors and everything are a little bit better. So the bottoms are always the same. It's just the sides that are different with the new cases, with the finishes. So honestly, it looks really nice. I'm liking it. The finish is not too bad. It's definitely a little bit more pinkish than just a flat gold. It's definitely got that kind of rose gold vibe going, very similar to the iPhone 8 if you remember that one. Let me just show you the bottom compared to my Apple Watch Series 5, which is quite more or less, I'd say, similar looking. It's got a lot of the similar sensors, but there are a few key changes there, of course. You know, this one being it doesn't have ECG like the Series 4 and 5 do, but beyond that, they kind of share all the same health tracking features of the Series 4 and 5. The Series 6 is the only one that has blood oxygen anyway, so this was kind of not a big deal to me. So Series 5, same design as the Series 4, right? It looks exactly the same. Really nothing I can tell to differentiate it. Just the only thing being that the crown no longer has a ring like the Series 5 and 4 did. So you guys can see there's a ring right there on my Series 5, which is very subtle. It's black on my space gray, but the reason for that is for the ECG reading. So the ECGs could be taken with that. So that's no longer on here because, of course, it doesn't have ECG. So let me turn this on, and while it boots on, I will pull out the the band as well, just to see what that looks like and put it on to the actual watch. So, all right, putting that off to the side. Band also has a nice pull tab. You know, Apple definitely pays attention to the smallest of details. They didn't have to. They could have just made this a little flimsy box, but no, always got the attention to detail there, which I love about Apple. And, you know, whenever it's missing, I definitely give them a little bit of shit about it. So, pulling it out, Apple Watch band. You know, the bands are always like, look at that, you know, always very, very well packaged. They don't have to be, really, they don't, but they always are. But I guess when you charge $50, you have to. So, of course, you've got your two sizes. So, this is the medium, large, and this is the small one. Pink, this is pretty much your kind of standard pink sand band that's been around for a very long time. So, let me just pull these out. All right. Boom. That's done. Let me put this off to the side. And it says, bring Apple Watch near phone. Okay, let me grab my iPhone. Alright guys, so I have run into a small little issue here with the setup process. So the new Apple Watches and watchOS 7 require iOS 14, and unfortunately I haven't updated this phone to iOS 14 yet. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of a break here, update this to iOS 14, get this watch all set up, and then come back to you guys with my initial impressions of what this watch is like and what I'm thinking about it so far. Alright guys, so it took me a little bit of time, a couple of hurdles on the way, but finally I had the Apple Watch SE set up, and I've also got my Series 3 right beside it to give you guys a comparison, because in essence, the SE is replacing the Series 3, even though they still both continue to be sold side by side. Now, I think the best thing I need to show you guys is just look at the difference between these two, right? Just look at how the screens, even though they're technically kind of the same, size, case-wise, just the displays, they look night and day. Like there's no competition. Like it looks like this watch is so much newer, and that alone is, I think, worth $80. That display is more than worth it. But I think the differences just keep going on. One of the really nice things about the SE is that it is actually considerably thinner than the Series 3. So I'm not sure if this is a good angle to show you guys. I'm not sure if it's going to show up well on camera, but I assure you, the second I put the SE on, I'm like, wow, this is so much thinner and lighter. Even though I've been using a Series 5 and a Series 4 for the last 2 years, this just immediately when I put this on, I was like, dang, this is good. This was, a lot nicer than the Series 4. I'm sorry, the Series 3 that I have. So the thing is, I did also notice something really nice about the Series SE, is that the wheel, the digital crown, is super smooth, and the haptics are just so much better than the Series 3. So without, making this a Series 3 versus SE competition, I'll do that later. I think that this SE is it's very impressive to me right off the gate. I can't believe you can buy this for $280, right? It's a fantastic device, and if you're in the market for an Apple Watch, I think that this is such a hard argument to go against, because it's got everything you need, nothing you don't, and the price is just right. You can walk away with this with a larger size as well for about $300 something, which honestly, it's worth it. Even at, I'd say $350, if you want to get the exact color you want, the case, the band, everything, still well worth it, because the Apple Watch Series 6, when you start getting into it, is the cheapest one starts at $399, but realistically, by the time you get in and you get the one you want, you're going to end up looking at somewhere around the mid $400. So for about $100 cheaper, the only real thing you lose is ECG and the ability to check your blood oxygen. Everything else is here, and I think that is just a great value proposition. Overall, I think that the speakers are really good too. Siri is very responsive. watchOS 7 has made so many amazing and impressive changes that really this feels like a completely different watch compared to this, which is running watchOS 6, right? A very, very awesome improvement, and I'm glad I didn't update this series to watchOS 7, because it gives me a comparison point, because this is just awesome. So that's it for the initial impressions on the Apple Watch SE. I hope you guys enjoyed the unboxing, and if you have any more questions or just, I'm going to be making a comparison for sure against the Series 3, but if you do have any questions about it, feel free to ask down in the comments below. I'd love to answer those. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on social media. I have all the handles right here on the screen, and of course in the description down below as well. If that's easier for you, go check it out over there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.